Welcome back to my channel. I'm James, and today we're going to be discussing and reviewing one of these great classic thrillers from 1974. And it really is one of those films that's thought-provoking, it's got action in it, and some outstanding acting in it. So today I'm excited to announce we're going to deep dive into The Taking of Pelham 123. And this is the brand new restoration from Kino Lorber on 4K Ultra HD. Now, I did get this in about 3 weeks early before the release date, and I always appreciate when Kino Lorber sends these to me early for review, so that way I can do all my exclusive testing. I'm going to do my exclusives side by side, showing you the difference between this 4K Ultra HD release and the previous 2016 Blu-ray release. That way you can see side by side as I go through all of my testing and data with you, so you can see if this is an upgrade and if this is worth buying and adding to your collection. Now, as always, at the end of every single one of these reviews, I always give you my review score. That sums up everything: audio, visual quality, the special features, boxing, kind of everything combined together into a total sum up review score at the end that lets you know the quality of this set and if it's worth buying. Now, if you decide after watching any of my reviews that you want to buy any of the releases that I review, I always put the links directly from Amazon listed in the description section right below each video and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. I always make it nice and easy for all of you, and that never costs any of you even a penny extra. And it's on sale for the same prices everywhere through those links. But that does help to support the creation of these videos and this YouTube channel. So make sure if after you get done watching this review, hearing my review score, and seeing the image comparisons, that if you decide you want to buy any of these releases, make sure to click through those links I've posted down below in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. Now, to start off with here, I'm going to show you the native image pulled from the 2016 Blu-ray release. Now, this is the Blu-ray disc with the native images that you're seeing up above. These are always without all the artificial things your TV can do, like pumping your color saturation up to 100 that makes everybody look like they're bleeding. These are always the native images on the Blu-ray and the native images on the 4K from the 4K disc that we'll get to here in just a minute. But on the Blu-ray disc that originally Kino Lorber released, it was an upgrade over the Blu-ray that was released many years before that by MGM. But there was still some issues I had with it. For example, on all of the Blu-ray releases of The Taking of Pelham 123, they always had kind of a grayish skin tone. As you're noticing that image above, it just looked very grayish. Everything in the image was just very gray. It lost a lot of basically colors that should have existed in that image were kind of just still off. Now, it did look better than I said the previous Blu-ray before that, so it's kind of like a step pattern here. So Kino Lorber's Blu-ray was an upgrade over the previous Blu-ray before, so that was nice that there was improvements in that. But there were still things like there were still some slight tears and quite a few blotches and splotches throughout it that still could use some more restoration work. Well, for the new 4K Ultra HD release from Kino Lorber, they didn't just take the old Blu-ray and say, hey, we're going to take that and basically upscale it for this. This is a brand new native 4K 2160p release. And that makes a big difference because there's a lot of things Kino Lorber did for this release that you're going to notice in those image comparisons above that drastically changed the presentation and what you get to see out of this release. For example, they did a brand new 4K scan of the original camera negative, which always makes a big difference when doing these native 4K instead of just trying to basically take a 1080p and upscale it, or a 2K source, for example. This is a native 4K scan from the original camera negatives. Now, with it, they also did a brand new color grading and HDR and Dolby Vision master. That's where I think it drastically improved the image of what you see on this new 4K versus what the previous even 2016 Blu-ray had. For example, in those skin tones you can see above, on the new 4K, it gets drastically more lifelike and realistic skin tones overall with the new color grading and the HDR and Dolby Vision master that they did over the previous Blu-ray release. It is one of those very surprising when you're watching it and sitting down and comparing them side by side that you see how much work they did on this. Now, it does retain the native film grain that's present on it because they went back to the original source material and did a brand new 4K scan on those camera negatives. It has all of the film grain present in it, though it is very stable throughout it and looks very filmic. Now on the Blu-ray, it did have film grain on it present as well, but because this is a native 4K with a brand new scan, you can see that film grain so much more. But here's where that lends to a positive. On that film grain and all of the scan that they did on this, man, can you see so much more detail in their skin, their hair, their clothes. The details that you can see on like their suede jackets or their fuzz that's on their shirts or like hair that was sitting on their shoulder. You can see so much detail all over. The ladies' hairs that's coming down, all of the costumes and outfits, the background details. The subway has like basically like paint over basically brick walls. You can see the little details and the crags and cracks of the brick walls so much more detailed. Because they didn't DNR or get rid of that film grain, it lends beautifully to adding so much more detail to this image that you really couldn't see in that 1080p Blu-ray from before. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification, just like with this review. I get these in early. This one was about 3 weeks early that was sent to me from Kino Lorber. So I get a lot of these exclusive reviews and a lot of these early reviews done quite a bit before the release date. So the only way to find out about these before the release date, so you know if you need to buy or pre-order any of these, is to make sure to go down there and hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you're one of the first ones to get notified whenever I go in and release any of these earlier exclusive reviews. So make sure to go down, give this video a like and a thumbs up for me, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Now, because of the brand new Dolby Vision and HDR10 that's on this 4K, other than just the skin tones, as you probably noticed in like their clothing and everything in the backgrounds, the colors look so much better because there is such a wider color gamut available with the Dolby Vision HDR10. There's so much more that shines through great on this versus the previous Blu-ray release. That really just, even like in his yellow tie, you know, you see his yellow tie when he's talking through the microphone, obviously, as the train was stolen and things like that. You can see so greatly the colors of the yellow on his tie that's reflecting from the basically lights coming down above that you really couldn't see in the Blu-rays before. That really shows you how much more range there is with that color gamut that's available that isn't available on the previous Blu-rays, which lends so nicely to how this looks as well. Now, for those of you that don't know about the taking of Pelham 123, basically it's a story of a subway train that gets basically stolen or hijacked, however you want to call it, and basically a train conductor that basically is involved in basically trying to figure out why it's being stolen, what's the whole story behind it. It's really one of these thrilling, thriller, mystery kind of action set pieces. It is a great film. Now, I've always preferred the 1974 classic, which is this one, over the remake that came out in 2009. And this one was good with Denzel Washington. I did enjoy it. It's by the late Tony Scott, and it is a really good action movie. I do hope this gets a 4K release as well, but kind of digressing there. As far as the film goes, though, there is something about the original classic that still holds true as my favorite version of it. This is good, and if you liked this, you really need to check out the original classic because this is really where it all began, and it really is just a well done, well acted. I mean, it's got Jerry Stiller in it, who I've always liked. Jerry Stiller, he's Ben Stiller's father. He's in this as well. And there's a ton of big actors. I mean, you've got Walter Matthau, Robert Shaw, Martin Balsam, and then you also have Hector Elizondo. Those are a lot of big named actors for the time. And there's more than that in this film. And it's a really enjoyable, slick movie. And watching it again in this new 4K restoration really was an eye-opener. Compared to that old Blu-ray, there was a lot of speckles and blotches and some tears I talked about that still needed repaired from that. Those are gone on this. Though I will say there is some slight splotches and little blotches, but they are slight. Comparing them side by side going through it when you're watching the film, I mean, really? On this 4K, they stepped it up and did a great restoration, basically taking any of the things they knew that needed repaired from the Blu-ray and fixing almost all of them for this 4K Ultra HD release. So it really did lend to why this looks like such a huge upgrade over that previous Blu-ray. Now, the film is rated R for language and some violence, and it's 104 minutes long. Though I won't say it's over the top, it's really well done. I love the film. Now, like I was talking about with the image on this though, because of that clarity that this new 4K scan and native 4K brings, that detail and clarity that's presented in this really will surprise you when you're especially in scenes where they're sitting there and he's talking on his microphone, Walter Matthau's character, and things like that. And you just look at like his outfit and the jacket he has on with the pattern on it and things like that. And you're probably noticing some of that in those image presentations above. But whenever you see this on your home display or home cinema, because this has Dolby Vision and HDR10, like I've explained before, those 4K images are always dumbed down to standard HDR. So what you see above will look drastically even more enhanced on a properly or professionally calibrated 4K display and 4K player. That, man, will bring so much even more than what you see above. And it really is just one of those really great restorations with what they did for the work on this that really surprised me for this film, because it's kind of come out on every iteration of home video. So I kind of expected it to be on 4K one day, though I am thrilled Kino Lorber did the work on it. I've talked about Kino Lorber a lot over the years. If you haven't checked out some of those reviews, I have dozens of Kino Lorber reviews available here on my YouTube channel that I've done. And they did Mystery Men. That was a great one that I just recently did as well. That was a great release by Kino Lorber, and they've done tons of them. You know, like Escape from Alcatraz, that was another really great one they did. Well, this one was one of those that did surprise me, and I'll get to here in a minute what I mean by that. But the details that they brought from this image over that Blu-ray were a big surprise over this. The depth because of the lights to darks and how much that HDR and Dolby Vision really enhanced really drastically made that picture nice looking. Now, difference between Dolby Vision and HDR10, I would say it's slight between them. I will say I enjoyed the Dolby Vision slightly more, but in the case between the HDR10 and Dolby Vision, I would say on this one, they're a very similar presentation. So no matter which one you're watching, you're really going to benefit and enjoy the presentation of what you see. Now, audio-wise, this does get English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and 2.0 mix. I will say the English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 was where it was at for me. I did think it was a nice improvement. Now, was it a night and day drastic improvement over this previous Blu-ray? No, it was a slight improvement. For example, it had better range where I could notice things a little bit more around me. I also noticed the sound being slightly clearer when the characters were talking, and some of the kind of like reverb that I did notice briefly in the previous Blu-ray release. There were some sounds where you kind of get like an overlay of like digital noise on the previous Blu-ray sound. It has been fixed and repaired in this, and I don't notice that at all throughout the entire film. So that was a nice improvement and was an upgrade over the previous Blu-ray, which is what we're looking for anyways, and it did sound really good. Now, sharing some of my exclusive data that I test and do here on this YouTube channel that I know a lot of you look forward to. I did my rough average bitrate for this, and my rough average bitrate from this was a very high, very surprising, and very strong 89 megabits per second. That is outstanding. I mean, it really is an outstanding. I couldn't believe how stable it was throughout it, how great that bitrate was running throughout the entire film. This is one of the highest bit rates I've seen in a 4K Ultra HD release in a while, and it was stable throughout most of the film and just looked really good and lended to why that picture didn't have heavy fluctuations in the film grain or heavy fluctuations in the image going from detailed to soft. It looked good overall, though I am going to point out for those of you about film grain, the film grain is very heavily present, which we want. We don't want them to DNR it away, because that's where all that detail in that image is coming from. It is present in this, so you will notice the film grain slightly more than you did on the Blu-ray, obviously, because there is a new 4K scan and it is more present in it. But that's where we get all that detail from. And that having that high 89 megabits per second average bitrate, which is just outstanding, lends to why that image has so much data and detail in it that you can see and perceive when you're watching the film, that makes this 4K look so much more detailed with so much more depth and image to it than the previous Blu-ray before. Now, getting to my review score here. I love the film. I've always enjoyed the film. It is a great film. If you have not checked it out, it is a really fun, whether you're a guy, whether you're a gal, action, mystery, thriller with great performances that you will watch over and over and over again. This gets a magnificent 9.7. Kino Lorber, outstanding job. This is a must-buy that you need to add to your collection and see the taking of Pelham 123. This is what you need to own. this is what you need to buy, and this is what you need to watch it on. Because this was a magnificent 9.7 release by Kino Lorber. I keep saying this sometimes with each one of their releases lately. There have been a few that maybe haven't been as high, but this one really shows that they've perfected their restoration and what their work is that they're doing. That each new release, I'm always excited to see what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it, and what they're gonna release. This was a 9.7 and an absolutely wonderful release by Kino Lorber. Now, recently I talked about Nobody's Fool. If you haven't checked out that review, it's available in my compilation review video. I basically did like 35 reviews all in one video. There's a ton of 4K reviews in there, and Blu Ray reviews, and TV series reviews. In that, though, I did a review for Kino Lorber's basically Nobody's Fool release they did with Paramount. That one was kind of one of those exceptions where it was a good release, but nowhere near as good of a job as what they did on this one. It really surprised me how much of an upgrade in comparison to that 2016 Blu Ray that this really was. So that's where I said this is one of those gems of a release by Kino Lorber. No matter where you live worldwide, you need to own The Taking of Pelham 123 in the best quality it's ever been released. As always, I have those links posted down below though, so if you decide you're gonna buy this now, make sure to use those Amazon links I posted down below. They never cost you a penny extra, but those do help to support this YouTube channel and the creation of these videos. This is one you need to pick up and buy. If you've never seen the film, don't buy it on Blu Ray. Wait till you can either save up the money to buy it on 4K, but this is the way you need to experience it and see it for the first time, because it really is, even if you've seen it on Blu Ray before, this looked so nice with the details that I could see in the image that weren't even present on the Blu Ray, that it made it feel like kind of one of those first time viewing experiences and really an eye opener. I mean, the color and the new color grading really drastically helped this, especially skin tones. I mean, really that grayish skin tones that were on that previous Blu Ray are so nice that those are fixed and gone on this with the new color grading and just look more healthy and normal and natural. Now, to show you what you get in this though, you do get this really nice slipcover. Remember, these are first printings only, so if you like to collect these, don't wait too long to order your copy because these do go out of print. But I love the slipcover on it. Side, it says Taking of Pelham 123 in yellow. Talks about it. Special features wise, you do get audio commentaries on it. The Making of Pelham 123 Vintage Featurette. 12 minutes with Mr. Gray. Cutting on Action. The Sound of the City. Image gallery. Theatrical trailers. TV and radio spots. So you really get everything you possibly need. It includes all the previous stuff from the previous Blu Ray releases. They're all contained in this, so you're not missing out on any of those as well. And then when you get inside here, you do get your 4K Ultra HD disc and you get your Blu Ray disc. Now, I put this at the end of the video this time just to kind of change things up a little bit, but your 4K Ultra HD disc is region free and it is a BD100. So again, with that basically bitrate and everything else, they didn't overcompress anything, which is why it got that amazing review score. Because BD100, plenty of room for the content, and it's a region-free disc, and the bitrate. Man, what a great job on that. On your Blu-ray disc, though, it is region A locked, and it is a BD50. So keep that in mind for those of you worldwide. You'll be able to watch the 4K disc, but the Blu-ray, you will need a multi-region or region-free player, which I've reviewed dozens of here on this YouTube channel, but it is region A locked. But as far as this release goes, this really is one of those great jobs that I really was surprised about. Make sure to start the conversation in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on this release. Now, I am going to cover another review here and talk about another release that Kino Lorber just released as well, so make sure to stick around here. Now, talking about Margaret, this is the BBC Classic Mystery TV series. And I've always enjoyed this series, though it's always looked very, very poor over the years. It was never stored. The original elements basically been lost and damaged. And this was released originally in the UK. Now it's coming over to the States, and this is the brand new release of the first season by Kino Lorber. So I am happy to announce they sent this to me early for review as well, which is why I wanted to make sure to cover this for you to give you all an idea about this. This is season 1, and it is a really good mystery TV series, and it stinks and always has stunk that there just really is not a great film element for them to go back and do a restoration. There's a long explanation in the little booklet in here, as well as in the actual release when you get to the first disc. It has a talking about it and basically showing what went behind the restoration by network and things like that about this restoration. And basically, There's basically banding, and there's some blocking, and there's combing, and there's interlacing, and all of those things exist from the elements that are available for them to do any restoration on. They've done the absolute best they possibly can for this series, and they talk about it and talk about the elements that exist. There's nothing more they can pull from the image than what they've done for this Blu-ray release. So if you get this Blu-ray release, understand that is the best image that exists. There isn't anything else they can do. There isn't any more that they can pull from. There's no more data. There's no more image to scan. There's literally nothing. And if you watch that special feature that's on this set before you watch the series, I think it's very important you watch that. You'll understand that this looks better than even whatever existed before, but it's just not gorgeous. I mean, there's no way to explain it to you other than it just doesn't look great. I understand the limitations, so I'm happy it exists on Blu-ray, that we got at least this that exists, because everything that existed before was almost unwatchable. And that's why I said you need to watch that restoration special feature that's on here before you dive into watching the series. You'll see that what existed before with all the combing and interlacing and the triple and quadruple images that would appear on top of each other, it just looked unwatchable before, and that's what existed on DVDs and any home video before. So this is the best restoration that's ever existed for this, but this is the best that they say we're ever going to get anyways, because there's nothing else for them to scan or go back and get things from or to get more detail from. So I understand that, and I did enjoy this series. I've always enjoyed this series. It's a good mystery, kind of like murder mystery series, and showing you what you get in this, though, it does say season 1 on the side. Has the original black and white photos on here. It talks about the series, talks about that it was remastered. It's 715 minutes long, has 13 episodes. It ran from 1960 to 1961 for season 1, and it is in the aspect ratio of 1.33 to 1. It does have English audio with English subtitles available on this as well. Now, showing you what you get in this, you do get your 3 Blu-ray discs here, and they're all in here. And then this is your little like pamphlet that talks about the remastering process that was done on it, and it talks about the episodes inside here. It has the episodes listed out with little descriptions. I really like that Kino Lorber includes these little like pamphlets. I always love stuff like this, that basically, without having to go into the disc itself, you can kind of see all of that in the little like pamphlet they give you with it. You can always go into the disc that has the episodes, but I always like having something extra in the cases for these TV series. But it is a nice release, and I enjoyed it, but it's just very limited image quality wise. So it's one of those things that's just important to understand that it's never going to look better whether you have the release that was in the UK, the US, it doesn't matter. They all look the same because there isn't any more detail to draw from the image. I enjoy the series and I recommend it for a TV series. But if you're looking for something that looks outstanding, you're not going to get it from Margaret. It just simply doesn't exist. Now, if you decide to buy either of these releases that I reviewed today and talked about, make sure to go down to those Amazon links I posted in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. Those help to support this YouTube channel, so make sure to click through those down below if you're going to buy either of these. If you enjoy all the hard work and time I put into every single one of these videos, just like with the 4K versus Blu-ray image comparisons that I always exclusively do, make sure to join my Collectors VIP Club. That costs you less than a couple of dollars each month. I release exclusive video content in there that you can only get through my VIP Club for my VIP Club members. There's a bunch of little things I do like votes and questionnaires and things like that for only my VIP Club members. But that definitely helps to support this channel the best. That goes back into this YouTube channel every month, and that's how I'm able to keep doing this. I'm not sponsored and I'm not paid by anybody. All of these reviews I do solely by the support of my viewers and subscribers. You can always give a super thanks through the super thanks button down below as well. You can always give $1 or $2 on each video that you watch. That goes straight back into this channel as well. But the best way possible to support this channel is always through my VIP Club membership. That goes right back in. Every single dime does truly make a difference. And I want to say thank you to every single VIP Club member that has joined and every VIP Club member that has supported me over the years. It truly does make a difference, and I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. I don't know what you're doing if you haven't done that yet. You need to go down there, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. As always, I hope all of you have a blessed day, and I've always got something new and exciting coming out very soon.